Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, Chris and I kind of were spitballing this idea, and we kind of came up with this crazy change to. We're going to talk a little bit about how, wrestlers are trained and whatnot, but we kind of came up with an alternative method that might actually work and make a promoter some money. So, Chris, what do you think?
Sounds good, but you gotta explain it to me more.
All right. So, basically, what I was thinking is, everybody hears the standard horror stories from, some independent wrestlers. They pay their money not realizing they're going to get put into a power plant style workout fest where you basically work until you drop, and then only if you're able to be left standing because of your cardiovascular structure and everything do they take you, when even if you have some talent and you just because you fell to the ground they don't take you.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
So, and we also hear about guys going and they get trained by somebody that's a lot more physical than they need to be, and it really doesn't end up working out. They don't end up learning as much,
Yeah.
and they don't really end up progressing that much, or they just end up getting thrown in random battle royals or whatnot, and that's the only experience they got. So I came up with this idea, and I figured it's also a good way for promoters to make money and also discover talent. So when we were growing up, karate was like the big thing, right?
Yeah.
And we could take lessons and everything, but you know how if you were good enough or whatnot, as you progressed up the levels, there was always an opportunity to do, not really sparring, but to do like an exhibition of your skills for the parents and whatnot?
Yeah.
Alright, well then there's also acting. Like I remember there were acting courses I took and whatnot, and they teach you improvisation and everything. And at the end, the whole payoff for it was you got to participate in a show and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was thinking what you can do is make professional wrestling training, and I know a lot of purists are going to balk at this idea and say, "Oh, you can't do that if you want to do it as a career." But if somebody's just starting out and wants to get involved, really, what other way is there for them to know that A, that they're interested in it, and B, that they could be good at it?
Yeah.
So what I was thinking was have some of these promoters, the nicer, trainers and whatnot that aren't going to run you into the ground, have them teach you some of the basics for a fee, like a weekly course or whatnot. And, you put up with the ones that can't do anything. You don't put them in there with anybody that can hurt anything. You don't let them do lifts if they obviously can't pick them up or they're not doing it safely.
Excuse me.
But, say you take some of the more talented ones and they're still paying you to take this course and whatnot, and then you let them participate in the show and whatnot. Have two of the students face off against each other that have been properly trained over a period of months, and, go from there. And then maybe, if they're good enough, talk to them about possibly wrestling a couple of weekends.
Don't they kind of already do that, though? I don't know.
Well, I mean, they do in a sense, but what I was saying was make it more of a community thing. Make it like a class that you can take for entertainment and for a social thing. Don't just make it to be, I want to do this because I want to be a pro wrestler. Make it be like, make it be like ballet, or make it be like music lessons, or, a choir. Yeah, you might not be doing this for a job, but it could be, a good way to blow off steam. The promotion makes some money out of it. You get some training and whatnot, and it's almost like, an executive that wants to do judo in his spare time. But instead of that, you give him a professional wrestling workout and whatnot, and you let him get in there and do some of that,
Yeah, so it's almost like a stress reliever, like yoga or something.
Well, that, and it's an entertainment thing, and it's also a way to evaluate talent. Or say, you have some in the community for, a good way to build up public publicity would be, say you work with at-risk youth. Say you give them one free wrestling lesson to, the more athletically inclined ones, something like that. So you get good public relations, you get media coverage and everything. So, I mean, it can't all be bad.
Yeah,
as long as, you get insurance waivers and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, they could.
As long as you're not throwing them in there to a match their first day, as long as you're just doing like the basic how to fall and everything their first day and everything, and you're building them up over time, and it's just like karate as you're progressing through the levels,
Put them up against someone like Vader.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you wrestle people in the same, size and skill set. Like, you don't want somebody that's slower in the ring, even if they're the same size, because, I mean, they're not going to be able to duck under a kick and, fast enough or whatnot.
It's a different idea. It's pretty good. Why not,
I mean, yeah, granted, it's extra time and everything, and it would involve a lot of promoters working weekdays, but it might be worth it if you get enough people in the class and they're paying, whatever the fee would be.
Hey, money's money. If you can make it,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd do it, hey.
Yeah, me too. I mean, just for something fun to do, even though I would never probably have a career at it, just to be able to kind of, get involved in the business. And then also with the acting, you can do promo courses, or you can let them have a shot at it, and if anything else, it's just good comic relief if they're bad.
Definitely. Yeah, just some fun.
It's like, okay, you were going fine until you went all Columbine in your promo. Next!
Yeah, we're done with you. Yeah,
You
something
can't
different.
threaten to kill the guy's family in your promo. That is not acceptable even in ECW. We're not going to go with that. Mike Tyson never even said that. We got to pull back on that a little bit.
Good old Mike
But good
Tyson.
try, and then give him a fake smile.
Oh my God, Mike Tyson.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like a different approach to training because, I mean, we've all heard bad things about training and trainers and just
Yeah, some of these guys.
people that have had to go through it. Even some of the big stars now have said, you know, they were put through things that they shouldn't have been put through and were working, you know, through injuries that they suffered in training just because they were getting overworked.
Yeah, some of these guys. I mean, they're mad they didn't make it. So they're taking out on everybody else. It's like, get lost.
And even though I hate Hulk Hogan, he was talking about how whenever he first broke into the business, somebody broke his leg his first match in or something, I believe.
It was training. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christ.
So, I mean, you don't want something like that.
Yeah, no thanks, huh?
Because I think it's better than some of the developmental ones that you pay money for, but you end up getting buried. Like OVW used to be okay when it was with WWE. Now with TNA, I'm not even really sure that you would ever get on TV. They have this gut check thing, and none of these people are ever seen from again. Is gut check like the TNA witness protection program?
It seems like it's your death sentence.
Well, especially if you lose, you're never heard from again unless you're Joey Ryan. Well, he won his match.
Well, I mean, Adam Pearce, he was won last month. Haven't seen him since.
Yeah, everyone said he was the most talented one, but they gave the contract to that Magno guy that he beat, the useless one.
Oh, he gave they didn't give the contract to him?
No.
Adam Pearce?
No, they gave it to the guy that he beat.
Oh my God!
Let's figure that one out.
I was wondering where Adam Pearce was. Like, why isn't he on TV yet? Oh my God!
Well, I mean, supposedly they signed him, but the storyline is they gave it to the other guy. But I'm like, why?
God, I'll never know.
Are they ever going to get rid of Alex Silva, too? He's useless.
Well, he wasn't Joker's Wild, so...
Yeah, but so are a lot of people that are no longer with the company. There's like 3 or 4 wrestlers from Joker's Wild that are no longer with TNA Wrestling.
Yeah, the way I see it, though, everyone's, you know... They're not, they are. I mean, TNA can get anybody they want. They just don't... They don't do it. You know. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like a quick thought just popped into my mind. And it's like, you know, this might be a good money maker for some promotions.
Yeah, there's something to do, you know.
Yeah, and it gets them more involved in the community and gets their name out there, if anything.
Can't hurt, you know.
Well, unless you get dropped on your head.
Well, it's really going to hurt.
I'm Peck.
I'm Chris.